It's your girl T here, back with the Tea Time Tuesday vidya. I know y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day because we're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, why is today the best day of my life? Why is today the best day of our lives? We're tea timers. Every day is the best day of our lives, but why today? Why is this the best day of our lives? I wanted to do a video based on a subscriber comment, which is sometimes where I get the inspiration to do some of these videos. And it was profound to me in the sense that I feel like it could help people deal with what they might be dealing with at the moment. So I had posted an affirmation in a previous video saying, I am immune to negative thoughts. And the subscriber said, I'm not immune to negative thoughts. I'm changing my addiction to negative thoughts so they don't affect me like they used to. And it brought me into a place where I thought this could help other people. What is an addiction to negative thoughts? An addiction is simply something repeated over and over until it becomes an addiction. Like, most people don't try drugs for the first time and become an addict, but if they do it a couple more times and they start repeating it, then they become addicted. Like smoking, drinking, addicted to gossiping, whatever kind of addiction it is, you repetitively do it and it sends serotonin to your brain and you get addicted to that feeling or that influx of emotion, whatever comes with the feeling of doing that addiction. So can we be addicted to negative thoughts? Of course we can. When you tell yourself negative stories and you repeat negative thoughts to yourselves over and over, this can become an addiction. It feeds the brain a certain feeling and the subconscious gets comfortable with that feeling. So this is why when we say we're changing our story, it can be uncomfortable for a while because you are going against the grain of what previously has been comfortable, which most likely was a negative story or a negative belief system. I know that some of you guys struggle with this because when I will give you advice on how to change your thoughts or how to go against your thoughts or tell a new story, you will do it for a little period of time and then you will go back to your existing story. The reason it's so difficult for some of us to change this is because your brain's job, as I've said in previous videos, is to keep you comfortable. It will fight you when you're trying to change a story or a belief for a period of time until it becomes more natural for you because it wants to keep you comfortable. What happens in the brain when we tell it something negative? When you are jealous of somebody else that has something that you've wanted, let's say someone got a promotion at work and you had been working towards that and you didn't get it. When you're jealous or you're sending over emotional, let's say, hatred towards that person, that is coming from a feeling of lack within yourself for not getting that promotion, and you are catapulting that off that person. And what does that do in your brain? It sends a message to your brain, you didn't get what you want, and what does your brain do? It makes it into a logical statement and rationalizes it. Well, they got more favoritism from the boss. They got those extra hours that you didn't get. They got to do things that you never got to do, so the boss got to see them more. It will rationalize down why that job wasn't yours, as opposed to just being honest with yourself and being like, oh, they got picked over me. That's obviously reflecting possibly a limited belief I have within myself, or maybe they just got the job and I didn't, but I'll get the job tomorrow. It's no worries. Instead of being honest with ourselves, we could feed into that rationalization our brain's giving us, and it feels more comfortable. To blame it on an outside party or an outside entity is more comfortable for us than to take ownership of that. Could be a limited perspective from us, or it could be showing us something that we need to work on. That's less comfortable than blaming it on an outside entity and making peace with the fact that it was out of our control and they got it because of things that were unfair to us. It's more comfortable to blame it on outside perspective or outside entities than it would be to take ownership of it, of course. And once you do that enough times, your body's going to get comfortable with utilizing this process. So what do you have to do? You have to be honest with yourself. How do you talk to yourself? How do you view yourself? Do you feel like you're not a great person? Do you feel like you don't deserve happiness? Do you feel like, do you feel like the world gives you an unfair hand? Do you compare yourself to others? Do you feel like everybody else is better than you? This is where the root of the problem is, the story you're telling yourself, the belief system you're holding surrounding yourself. So what do? You write down what your top 5, 6 limited perspectives of yourself are on a paper, and you contradict those every single day. It's what I like to call a pattern interrupt. When your brain is feeding you those negative BS comments throughout the day, You know you're not good enough for that. You know you're uglier than her. And on and on and on. You do a pattern interrupt. That's not true. What are you talking about? That's not even a real belief. No, I am beautiful. No, I am just as good as anybody else, if not better. No, this isn't true. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. Things are working out for me. You constantly are correcting your brain, and a pattern interrupt that's a bit of a pattern interrupt, but an actual pattern interrupt would be focusing on something else. Your brain's spewing you all these negative stories about yourself. Go for a walk. Go read a story. Go put something like an anchor in your brain that completely shifts your trajectory. Like maybe watching your kids play outside brings you great joy. Have a picture in the back of your brain of your kids playing outside and shift the focus onto that to bring you joy instead of focusing on those negative thoughts if they're having you spin out. But the point is, you are checking those thoughts every day. Like a bad spam email that's coming in, you're putting those thoughts in the junk pile and you are replacing them with new thoughts that make sense to your new identity, which is whatever you say it is. It's like, for example, when y'all say, I want to have money, and you're constantly telling me how broke you are, how you can't afford things, how everything's so expensive now. Or when you guys say, oh, I'm in love with my SP and my SP's in love with me, and you're sending me emails about how they love the third party, you'll never be as good as the third party, they don't even text you back when they say they do. These beliefs are contradicting what your new identity is. So your job is to line up your new identity with the new beliefs. And this is the work. Correcting those thoughts as they come up. Staying to a new story. And staying to a new story means you are clear on who you are being now. Not who you used to be, or what thoughts you used to have that people had of you, or what stories that you used to tell about yourself. Who are you today? You're starting from a clean slate. You get to write the story from today forward about who you are. What does that look like? And if you can't think of a good way to look at yourself, look at a celebrity or someone notable that you really admire and look at the traits in them that you love and write those down. Or look at a lifestyle that you really enjoy and mark that down for yourself. But write a new story. And you need to completely immerse yourself in that story by repeating it every day, looking at it every day, scripting it every day, telling yourself it every day until it becomes natural to you, and that's who you identify as. And then your 3D will catch up and it will shift according to who you now believe that you are. And this also involves when people come to you as the old version of yourself, you can correct them in the 3D. Oh, I don't do that anymore. I'm not that person anymore. Yeah, I used to be like that, but I'm not like that anymore. Stay in your present, new focused self and things will catch up. For those of you who say that the addiction is incurable, you don't know how to cure this addiction, if your doctor came to you tomorrow and said, if you don't lose 100 pounds, you've got a year to live, you would work your butt off every day to get those 100 pounds off within the next couple of months so you extended your life. Look at this like your life extension. If you want your life to look the way that you want it to look, you got to tell a new story, kids. You got to tell that story day in and day out like your life depends on it, because you want your life to be the way you want it to be. So I know y'all can do it, and I love y'all, but not as much as you should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.